intro goes so hard.
It does. As I were doing the headbanger boogie.
It's still not back. All right. And we are up, and welcome to The Escape. My name is Nick, and I'm joined by the ever jovial, not sick, like the other day, Nate. So, how are you doing, sir?
Mr. Bow Chicka Bow Wow.
Yes.
Doing good today. Doing good.
He's so edgy.
You never know what you're gonna get.
That's right. So, yeah, we're gonna talk Acolyte. We're gonna talk some Star Wars. There's a bunch of stuff going on. They started shooting Superman Legacy. I think that's the title still down in Cleveland, where I was actually down in Cleveland for work, and I did not see anything. So that's fun. But there's a bunch of pictures coming out. Looks like because like when I was down there, like they're like, yeah, they're starting to do some stuff, and the only time I could really get down was like early in the morning. I'm like, well, not gonna see anything. But like as I left and all these pictures started coming out, I was like, oh, they're doing stuff. They're shooting a bunch of stuff down there. So I'll check out some of the pictures from that. What's that?
It's interesting they picked Cleveland. I'm interested to hear the rationale.
Not the first time. Actually, the very famous scene from I think it's the first. Yeah, it's the first Avengers where Loki comes out of like the opera house and all that. That's Cleveland.
Oh wow!
I learned that after a friend we were supposed to do a 10K. I did the 10K. The rest of my family did the 5K because they chickened out. So after I did a 10K, they did a 5K, and one of the family friends that we were with, he took us on a walking like history tour of Cleveland. It was really good, but I was flipping exhausted. So I love history. I hate Cleveland and I hate Ohio, but it was very interesting.
Nice.
I hate to say it because just as a Metro Detroiter myself, you just kind of have this innate hatred of Ohio and Cleveland and things like that. But Cleveland's a cool town. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not going to fight anybody about it, but I do like Cleveland. That's good. It's a good time, and yeah, they get plenty of filming opportunities. Detroit used to get them. I was actually talking with Danny, friend of the channel, and we were talking about our governors, in politics because it's just getting to that season. And it was actually Hollywood was shooting a bunch of stuff in all across, Southeast Michigan. I actually got to work on it. It wasn't a Hollywood movie, but it was still a high enough profile movie where I worked with a lot of the guys who were working on, like at the time, it was Real Steel, Harold and Kumar. I think it's Harold and Kumar 2. Got to work with all the guys that were working on those movies. And then the governor said, nope, none of that incentives, the tax breaks for Hollywood. And magically, all the filming jobs dried up. So that kind of sucked. Because
You know what movie was filmed in Phoenix that I actually liked a lot was The Kingdom. You remember The Kingdom?
which one? Hold on.
It was around 2005, and they had just built a new freeway, and they did like a chase sequence on the freeway. Oh gosh, I want to say Jamie Foxx, maybe Jennifer Garner, Middle Eastern conflict, at that time kind of thing going on.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx, Chris Cooper, Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed the movie, but it was kind of cool because we just moved out here, and they're like, "Oh, they filmed it on the 202, and they were just building it." So there's not a lot of action that happens in Phoenix. It's just too hot.
That it is, sir. That is a matter of fact. But yeah, they were it sucked because they were shooting a lot of stuff. They were shooting a lot of the was it Zack Snyder when Zack Snyder was doing the DCEU stuff? He was shooting a lot of stuff in like over here in Pontiac. Yeah, they were shooting a lot of stuff, and it sucked because they were building studios. Like that was like the prime of when I was doing most of my video stuff. So I was able to have, and I was like, oh, if I can get in on some of these movie sets and build a little bit of a reputation. But and it's Yeah, as soon as though they rejected all the tax incentives, all those uh, dried up pretty quickly. I think that's right around the same time I think 8 Mile was being shot and all that good stuff. So yeah, and now it's just like, oh, Hollywood will just go somewhere else, as it turns out, like Atlanta, or Georgia, because I think shortly after that, because I think it was, yeah, Georgia was shooting a lot of stuff, and it was like Michigan was the outside of places, and Governor Rick Snyder said, yeah, no, no thanks. We're like, oh, thank thank you, because it's not like all the catering services and all those other jobs, all these other industries were being helped out, but
Yep.
slightly short-sighted on that one.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about us, not Ahsoka. I almost said Ahsoka. Now we're Acolyte. We're gonna talk about some comics that I'm recommending this week. I've been kind of slow on my comic book reading. Nate, I see you got like one or two books in from people, so
Yeah, we'll pull those in a little bit.
and it's because I thought, what was the one book when we had, was it Brandon on? And
Brandon Blocksdorf.
yeah, so I think we had
Hmm.
Brandon on, and I backed one of the books. And then I thought I got the physical copy. I guess I got the digital copy, but I haven't had a chance to take a look at it. But because I was kind of bummed, I was like, ugh, I really wanted the physical copy. So I did have to
Yeah.
break down and buy another one. But so yeah, let's get into little Acolyte. Let's make it like episodes 4 and 5 since we didn't do a show last week. Nate, what do you think? How are you enjoying the Acolyte so far?
So I'm the unpopular guy. I actually like it. I like
Per
the
usual.
mystery. I've heard that people have trouble with the casting and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's the best, but I'm not saying it's the worst either. And I like the villain that they brought out at the end of 4. I know it's almost cliche, but I mean, like, how much can you do with Star Wars? I mean, everybody has a lightsaber, they throw it around, they kill people, like, end of story. But I feel like they almost tried to give him like a horror-esque look, which I thought was a fun little take on this thing, because it's like, if like we talked about, like dissociative personality disorder, which I thought May and what's OSHA,
Yeah.
I thought they might have been the same person, which I thought, like, wow, they're like tackling mental health in Star Wars, so that'd be cool. But that was not what it was. But also, like, to bring in like a horror aspect into the Star Wars universe is something that I haven't seen yet. So I thought that was kind of cool. Then they revealed who it was pretty quickly after that. But I don't know. After the whole battle that they had, and then it got into just a lot of heavy dialogue, I felt it was kind of corny. It was just like too much exposition and like, um, eh, but it's been fun. And I've enjoyed this series more than a lot of the recent series that I've seen in the Star Wars universe. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, it's a lot of people were really freaking out saying this is going to be the worst thing that Star Wars Disney has ever done, and it's not. Frankly, it's so far it's better than Ahsoka. It's better than most of the stuff that they've done, at least TV wise. Not saying that much about it because I think most of the TV stuff has been a disaster between Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, and especially Ahsoka, where it was just at the end of the story, both sides switch sides at the end. Um, so I know episode 4, not nothing crazy exciting. The biggest thing is, for me is like this is supposed to be the High Republic, Disney's all Disney Star Wars stuff. This is all High Republic. This is all them. And if this is supposed to get people interested in the High Republic, and because there's books out there, there's comic books. I'm not sure what else they're going to try and do with it, if they're going to try and make a video game or anything. But this is not helping. I don't think for me. It's just like, hey, the Jedi seem like an inept government agency at this point, or like kind of joke Keystone Cops. I'm not sure how many people get that reference anymore, but they just kind of seem like a weird inept organization. You have them yelling, in the name of the Republic and the Jedi Order, like freeze. It's like, they're not cops. You know, they're not. Damn it, they're not. They're not meant to be like, oh, we're gonna get you. You know, it's no. They're basically supposed to be like warrior monks who, you know, fight the evil things in the galaxy, not going after, tax. You know, like having. They're not the FBI going after tax evasion, you guys.
Could you imagine that if you open your door?
That's how I feel. Like where all the other Jedi,
2020.
yeah, where all the other Jedi's. Oh, like big tax problem. You know, so they're really going after the Galactic Senate guys because those guys, you know, and I think and that's kind of also I think they're adding a little too much, present day stuff. Yeah, they did work in the pronouns very slightly, kind of with Basil and stuff like that, and it's just like okay, but it's kind of how The Boys is, where it's what if Superman was bad? What if Batman was bad? Like, what if the Jedi weren't really good guys? I was like, we're not doing this. We're not doing the, oh, there must be some, some bad Jedis out there, which, yeah, there are. And that's where, you have Count Dooku and all that stuff. And yeah, but how much, as kind of you were saying, how much can you really do with all that? So it's really tricky. So, but one of the things they introduced that was actually really interesting that we hadn't seen on screen before, at least live action, was a Jedi Wookiee. And you're like, okay, cool. We're actually going to go see Kanaka and all that. And the dude dies off screen. It's like, well, that was
pretty bad.
That was fun. That was quite the build up. It's just like, damn, dude. Like, so that's basically what happens in episode 4. Nothing crazy exciting. They did have like May kind of has like a change of heart kind of out of nowhere. But the way people were saying it was a kind of like a heel turn where, she wanted to be good. I kind of took it as she kind of realized that she was over her head. Like she was way in over her head as to what she had going on. And she's kind of like, yeah, no, I don't want to do any of this. But a lot of people were kind of saying it was kind of a heel turn. If it is a heel turn, it is kind of out of nowhere because she, the character of May has issues. Not just, the character has issues. The writing of the character has issues. Just so much because we get to see some of that more in episode 5. So, and then, so after episode 4, everybody's like, it was kind of meh. And then the actress who plays May and Osha, Mano Stenberg, basically puts out a diss track for Star Wars fans who don't like it, and it's like, well, it's on then if we're gonna play by those rules. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was pretty freaking cringe. So I'd play it, but she'd hit us with a damn copyright. Not that it matters. Not like we're making money off this anyway, but it's pretty. It got pretty ridiculous, and she got roasted, rightfully so. And it's just another. Hey, the fans are saying they don't like this, so what do you say? Let's make a track that makes fun of them. That's like, well, probably not the right way to go with it. Personally, I would say instead of let's just make fun of the fans and call them things, be like, hey, what do you guys actually want to see?
I think the fans should make a diss track, and then it could be like Biggie and Tupac or Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and then it will help boost sales and awareness, and maybe Disney will have a change of heart and do things differently.
I'm sure that'll totally happen because that's been going well so far.
Yes.
So, and I just want to point out another thing. Since I'm trying to give as little money as I can to Disney, so I have to get the Disney Plus with ads. I hate Disney Plus. There are so many commercial breaks for a 22 to 25-minute show. Typically, there's at least 8 to 10 minutes of commercials. There's at least 4 to 5 commercial breaks that are almost 2 minutes apiece. I'm just like, if I wanted to just watch TV, I'd do that.
What if I link you to my Disney Plus account, and then you don't have to pay? You can be a rebel and say F the system, and no commercials.
I enjoy that, but I already spent the money, but I appreciate it. So, all right. And there's a discussion as to what the proper nickname of the antagonist is. Have you heard it or seen any that you like? Okay, so I know in some circles that some of the guys I follow, they refer to him as Smilo Ren, which I like. And then I think there was another one because so for Smilo Ren or Darth Teeth, as some people are calling him, they did actually put out a toy from. I think they're just kind of calling him the Stranger now, but.
Do you know what the Stranger is to Dave Chappelle?
I think so, but there's several strangers, if you will.
Yes.
And I was gonna do a toy sale, a pitch. So hold on, because I had all this stuff up the other day and I forgot. No, I didn't forget. I meant to bring it up because they're going to be selling the helmet. Hasbro is going to be selling the helmet, but they're not going to do it's a pre-order, but it's not a HasLab. It's kind of confusing. I'm not sure, Nate, if you know kind of how Hasbro kind of does their sales.
I just felt like a creepy horror vibe from it, and that would be such a cool direction to run in, I think.
And that's the thing. It kind of sucks because I think because the character's name was it Kimar, and he's not doing a bad job. I actually think he's fine. Some of the dialogue, especially towards the end of the episode, I was like, well, that just seems like self glorifying, up your own ass stuff.
I like how those what were they called? Umbra moths. They take him, he's flying him away into the night, and then later at the end of the episode, like a couple pieces fall and he drops to the ground. Like, what was he doing the whole time?
I don't know that there was a few things where I'm just like, that's interesting. Like,
yeah, it's just convenient, right?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to get this stupid thing up at the images. There we go. Okay. So, let me share this real quick. And all right, Nate. So here's my sales pitch. So, hey, are you a big fan of the Acolyte? Are you a fan of Kimar, who is now a Sith? But you really want to give yourself a stranger feeling? Maybe a stranger helmet. Well, you can give yourself a stranger later next year when you buy or pre-order this helmet for $100. That's right. All this for $100.
How big is it?
It's wearable
for $100. Wow. I like how he could. That was kind of. Honestly, I kind of liked it. It was a little fun that he could headbutt out the lights of the lightsabers.
Yep, and that's another thing. I think they introduced in the High Republic what I think is a Cosirius or Corosis or something, because it's meant to interfere with it, because he had it. Because I was watching that episode and my wife was kind of watching with me. I was like, did he just punch and headbutt a lightsaber? She's like, I don't know. I was like, normally I would like let it go. I was like, no. I'm stopping this now. Because I just be like, I gotta make sure I saw what I saw. And sure enough, he had like some flipping lightsaber. And I'm just like, huh. That happened.
And I'm not happy that what's her name? X-23, she died,
Oh,
right?
Jackie. Well, we'll see.
Oh, but what's her name in real life?
Daphne King.
Yeah, she'll always be X-23 to me.
Yeah,
And she's like a hero of mine. Like forever, she'll just be X-23.
yeah. So the material is cortosis. The Sith Master's helmet shorts out lightsabers and acolyte because it's made out of cortosis. Which, what's cortosis? It's an extremely rare metal that's not only capable of shrugging off lightsaber attacks, but also causes the Jedi weapons to temporarily malfunction. That sounds like a silly boost in a video game, but okay. So I guess if it's lower canon, this is where we get into. I have issues with because I think that was just in the High Republic stuff, and it's kind of like, okay. I mean, you can make up a bunch. I guess we can just make whatever we want now.
Yep.
The short circuit as yeah, I'm not going to dig into exactly the history of cortosis right now, but I will later. I promise. So I'll get back to it. So some of the things I really liked. So we did find out who the master is. The master. I'll put up my air quotes because I think there's someone else that's going to be revealed a little bit later. Maybe someone else. But the fight choreography in this one was light years better than what they had in Ahsoka. It just seemed a little bit more fluid. It seemed a little bit higher caliber quality. Not nearly as good as the prequel stuff, which for some odd reason people want to compare it to. And I'm just like, if you want to compare eras, like the OG Star Wars had like the best story and the kind of everything that just made it, amazing and what it was. But if you can say one thing the prequels did better, I think you can easily say the lightsaber duels and stuff like that were just of a higher caliber. But to even compare those to stuff from the Acolyte to the prequels, I was like, I'm not even gonna venture into that conversation because that's just so kind of no, like not to pull my old man card, but no, absolutely not. Not even entertaining that conversation.
Yeah.
So, what did you think? Because I just thought it was like, they kept, especially because at the end of episode 4, like we know there's going to be a big fight. When we jump into episode 5, the fight's well on. The battle's raging. And what did you think of just as far as the looks of it? Because I just think as far as looks, I think it clearly, and this episode is clearly the best so far, I would say. And had the best action. Some really really good fight choreography for a TV show, not for calm down people trying to call it some of the best ever. I don't know. That's when I have to tell people like go read a book, go watch a movie. But what did you think some of the choreography, just the way the lightsaber duels turned out?
I loved it. I loved it. It was. I think I had talked to you at one point, and I saw a clip probably on social media, and it was from a Star Wars video game, and it's like, why can't we have these kind
Yeah,
of interactions? And I think I can't reference all of them off the top of my head, but yeah, I think this is some of the best fight choreography that I've seen in Star Wars for a while. Like I said, just the rest of the episode after all that kind of got bland. It was it I don't know the right word. It just felt forced. Um,
yeah.
so, but yeah, but the fight choreography was fun. It didn't. It didn't. I mean, that it's gonna land a certain way, but I mean, I didn't feel like I could, blow for blow, like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So
Yeah, and I think they are trying to make a couple corrections because one of the biggest things with Ahsoka was, well, and just in general, is for so many Star Wars fans, the coolest weapon is the lightsaber. Like when we were kids and we say pick whatever weapon you want, like I was always picking a lightsaber, and I know a lot of people are always like, going with the lightsaber. So and they've made the damn lightsaber so ineffective when people get stabbed. Oh, I don't know, through the stomach, or I think Reva got stabbed twice in Kenobi, and I think they kind of, especially with the scene with Jackie where she pretty much got prison shanked. Because he took out like the little, I don't know what it's called. I'm not a sword person, but he takes out the little dagger part from the bottom part of his lightsaber. Goes womp womp womp. I'm like, oh jeez. So hopefully they're just trying to say Jackie's dead. Sorry guys, and she had a nice little, send off. She had a very nice fight scene. Speaking of things that are a little bit forced, I think that was a little bit forced from the Padawan, who is apparently the most badass out of all of them with the lightsaber. Okay, fine. She still got shanked. So
I do have to say I have to give Disney props because they showed a guy getting his neck snapped on screen.
I was surprised.
I was like, whoa!
Well.
Yeah.
And I have to give. Hold on. Let me. I'll do that as well because. Well done, Disney. He was the worst Jedi I've ever seen, and I was kind of happy. Like, yeah, that guy had it coming. So that guy's been pretty terrible. So yeah, I think that no, okay. Obviously, it's not the first neck break, but that was pretty adult of Disney to do. They still, I don't think they've showed a severed limb, but now they do have a broken neck on the docket there to add. So.
I'm telling you, Disney horror movie, Jigsaw meets something scary, Smilo Ren.
Smilo Ren, yeah, Darth Thief. I like Smilo Ren. I think that's funny. But so other things. So May's character is way too confusing. Last time the two twins talked, she said she wanted to kill the other one for leaving, and now she wants to run away together. And Osha tries to arrest May. Osha gets knocked out and then changes clothes with her because now she's like, well, I want to run away together, but now I'm going to impersonate you. I'm like, that was a weird heel turn again. So I have no idea what May's trying to do. I assume she's just either one crazy, or unfortunately, she might be one of those ones where she's everybody says she's the crazy one, but she might be the one who's actually telling the truth. I was like, I really hope not. I really hope she's just crazy because I hate, like I said, I don't like the the these Jedis did really something pretty terrible. I'm like, and I know you said you like the mystery thing. I love mysteries. I love horror. I kind of like some of the elements in this, but here's the problem when you try and your whole season is going to be like mystery. You already, as soon as you say that, you have so many people who have, like, I've seen so many mysteries. I've seen so many, twists and turns and stories. So I've already, and everybody else is already making conclusions. And by the time you actually get to the conclusion, you've had so many people make so many speculations that there's no way in saving your story. And I know they at least saved this till episode 5, but it's so hard it's such a hard spot to put yourself in as a writer, as a creative, to do that, where we're going to hold out until the last episode or the episode before that. It's like, because everybody has already done every conceivable, plot twist and turn. And I think you really just set yourself up. Like, for me, you almost have to, if you're going to do a horror, you can't do a whole season. You almost have to just make it like a couple episodes. Because, I grew up watching The Twilight Zone. I've seen every twist and turn there is. and it's just like, oh, are you doing this? Oh, you're doing this. Oh, you did that. Okay. And then sometimes you fake yourself out so much, and yet coming from so far out of left field, you're like, that doesn't even make sense. So,
But isn't part of what they want to do is to create a buzz? So they try to start these conversations.
sure.
You know, and it I don't know it. Yeah, just like the whole feuding rapping thing. How much money do you think that Kendrick Lamar and Drake are actually making? They're probably like buddies and like, hey, let's start a rap battle and let's see how much money we both can make.
Oh, I have no doubt it's basically like, wrestling stuff where they're just like, hey, we'll just do kayfabe, so that we'll just make it look good. And I don't
Yeah, yeah.
so
It's how they get us.
yeah. So and then at the end, Saul, he didn't go either way with if he could tell it was Osha or May, but if Saul's such a good Jedi, shouldn't he be able to tell who's coming in at the end? And I already talked about that. So. Okay, so I do have an issue. So I did see in an article where Leslie Hedlund, who's the executive producer of the show, did refer to a bunch of the Jedi as red shirts. I have a huge problem with this because Smilo Ren, he does dispatch basically all the Jedi, except for a couple, pretty effortlessly. And so I just have a hard time with like saying, oh, well, those Jedi's were just red shirts. And I'm just like, I don't like oh, well, we just have these guys that are fun to kill. I'm like, they're Jedi, damn it. Have some respect. Let's see what else I got here. And they did a couple like canon rewrites where this clearly, Master Kiadimundi, who's the guy with the Jedi with the long head, whose most famous line in Star Wars is, "The Jedi haven't been seen for a millennia." Well, he saw him, and he's not even supposed to be there yet. But he saw him, and I'm just like, not the best job. I guess Star Wars theory was basically saying that Wikipedia was literally rewriting canon as it was coming out for the show because everybody jumped to Wikipedia and they were changing canon for this show. So it's hard enough when just it's one of those sad things where you just feel like Star Wars is just not in a place where people actually care enough. And these are the ones who are just like, yeah, just making up stuff. Doesn't matter if it makes sense. Doesn't matter any of that. So, I mean, the series is still overall not great. I'm kind of disappointed, but I'm going to finish it. I'm going to see how it goes. Hopefully, maybe it gets better. That'd be nice.
How many episodes is it?
8. So we got 3 more.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, it's and that's a shame. I try not to get into like the dogpiling stuff where, oh well, everybody else is saying this. I try not to do that. I call it my Nickelback theory, where everybody hates Nickelback just because it's fun to hate Nickelback. I was like, when they literally did nothing to anybody, it was just became cool to pile on Nickelback. So I try not to just dump on stuff to dump on. If I have issues with things, I'll bring those issues up, and that's what I've done so far. So, but you're still in. Are your kids watching it?
No.
Okay.
No.
So it might be a little much for them, but
No, I don't even know what they watch anymore. They've like switched gears on me. So
I was just because I haven't heard if any kids are watching this, and that's the thing because they're supposed to be trying to get kids in, and they're not getting kids to watch.
yeah.
I mean, it's Disney for the love of God. That's their whole thing.
There's so much to watch for kids nowadays. When we were younger, that was
Dude,
like
you had
the
24750 or 247 20 50 650 and 62. Yeah, and now you've got the internet to watch.
all of it.
Yeah, how many YouTube channels are there? Like 500 million or something. So
No, I'm now helping my 9-year-old like edit videos and learn how to do stuff, and he wants to do his own YouTube channel
yeah,
eventually. So
why not? So all right. Any final words on the Acolyte?
nope, I'm gonna keep watching as well.
Yeah, so keep watching and see how it goes. So all right. Nate, you got a bunch of comics in.
Yeah,
You
I was
got
actually. I hope it wasn't rude, but I was. Oh, here it is. Cool, I found it. So in the past, oh, I just want to plug this real quick too. So out of
oh
all
boy.
the Night of the Chihuahuas stuff has settled down, and I've been quite relaxed, and not maybe relaxed. I don't know, just off my normal stressful schedule. I started reading again, and I picked up the end book of the Fablehaven Dragonwatch series, and I am halfway through as of today, and I've been thoroughly enjoying just reading again, which for me is a big move because I didn't have the patience when I was doing Night of the Chihuahuas. I was so stressed out, so that is glorious. And yes, I got a few comics. Hold please as I lift them off the ground. Um, got a few comics from friends at Lesser Known Comics, and this is my haul that came in yesterday.
Just a few.
So Doug Knight has been on the escape. This is his project called Super Wicked White Cell Squadron. This is about a team that fights for kids that are sick. So Doug had some health issues when he was younger, and this is his story that is a lot of fun and has some scientific based stuff in it. This is Autolize by Brandon Pillis. This is a Max Flowers variant cover, which I really like. We like Max. Max is we're currently working with Max on Family Man.
Go Max.
Yep, this is Either Them or Us, which was surprisingly, this is Mark Bernal's book, and Mark is the founder of Lesser Known Comics. And I was really surprised at this book a lot. I really like it a lot. And then the other ones are a bunch of, I haven't even got to go through all of them. I mean, I just got them, but it's a lot of good stuff. And yeah, kind of looking forward to doing it, to getting into it, and seeing if there was one that stuck out in particular. But yeah, I just got a bundle, and I don't know if Mark hooked me up, but Apollo City Comics presents And Out Come the Comics. So a lot of these guys are into punk rock. Yeah, that was my haul. I'm waiting to pick up. I have books to pick up, which I need to go do. A series called Heathen. I forget who wrote Heathen, but our friend at Other Realms Comic in Hawaii told me about Heathen, and that's probably the next series I'll be reading straight through. 3 graphic novels about a Viking woman who goes and challenges the gods. So cool.
Yeah, I picked up a haul myself, but all I could really get through so far this morning was picking up some more Boom stuff. Or this is Dynamite, not Boom. Sorry, this is Dynamite stuff. So I picked up one. Let me tell you, you know what? One of the more underrated, just superhero outfits in general is. Look at this cover. Like, I love Space Ghost. Like that is just such a clean, cool cover. And I got the cover for issues 1 and 2. And I just,
that's nice.
It's such a completely like underrated look.
It reminds me of, is it Wonder Girl? That she has a kind of a white suit thing going on.
Is that Power? I think it's Power Girl. Is that
Power? It has the thing cut out here.
The boob window, yeah. It's a very nice outfit that she has, but
Yes.
But also I've been reading the Thundercats.
Ooh.
So, and here's the reason I don't like doing comic reviews just off single issues of comics, because I'm not gonna lie, like this was kind of like the last hurrah for Thundercats because it was pretty slow. And then I was talking to my wife because I also got a big stack of comics myself, and I'm just like, "Ugh, what should I read?" She's just like, just read the Thundercats. So I walked out and I read them on the porch. And I walked in, I was like, "Jokes on you! Those were really good," and I really liked it. And I think they changed artists. I think in issue 5. But the biggest issue, like, I don't. Did you watch Thundercats as a kid?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the most, like, I always think of, one, it's got the coolest intro. Two, it just, I always think of energy and action, and it the first 3 issues really lacked that. They tried to do a little character development, and they would kind of have like a few fights here and there, but the story's got some issues. Like, there's just a few things I would like to uh see done, like, just a little bit differently, like just storytelling, like visual storytelling wise, because like in issue 4 here, there's uh Panthro is having a conversation with, ends up being a spy, spoiler alert. Um, and he kind of looks off and he goes, "Oh, what's that?" And then you never see like what's off in the distance, like just a little establishing shot of something like that. And Nate, you would know more about that. Like, when you're trying to tell a story, are you kind of limited as far as kind of panels? Because obviously, the more pages, that's more money, that's more artwork that you got to pay for. And there we go. Understanding comics.
this is my homework, and yeah, I mean you're limited by page number. I mean that's one thing fun thing about being a publisher is if you want more pages, you can just put them in there. I mean, of course, it comes down to cost and stuff like that, but um, one thing that I recently learned is making the audience work for it. So between the two panels, making something that that next panel, the reader can make an assumption or something. So if if it didn't work, then that bridge isn't working properly, unless there's something you're missing, or maybe they forgot to put the wrong panel in. But yeah, I mean it's kind of like a game, and working with Max Flowers has been like the coolest thing because we talk about action reaction, action reaction, transition. You know, does this equal this? Yeah, and it's yeah. I mean, I don't think I think Family Man was like 36 pages to start, and we've made it 48. So since we could take some of it out, and then when you do 48, you can do a square bound book, so it's not stapled. You can do the one on the side, Gorgon, but you can. So 48 is like the minimum. So that was kind of the decision to do that, and it gives us some room to play around, and it's not horrible, not too much more expensive.
Yeah, because maybe it's just because you know, kind of getting in. I always read a lot of Image, some Marvel. Got into DC a little bit, later when I was younger. So I'm always used to the splash pages and things like that. And when you get into indie, it's like that'd be cool and all, but I imagine like that's an expensive thing. That's like, it's probably because you only get those really in comics maybe once an issue, maybe every other issue. Um,
Yeah,
but I'm just like kind of getting into Dynamite. You realize, oh, they're not doing the things that, like, because it, like, here's a big fight, like the whole that should take up 2 pages and maybe 3 pages and things like that. And it's like, here's the fight, 4 panels. It's like, and
yeah,
and like I say, I'm sure it just comes down to simply costs and hey, this is a licensed product. We really got to keep the page rate to this, and so you've only got so much so much leeway, so much comic book space, the page space to really work on, you really have to, really make your panels count and your
Uh,
pages count.
I think I might have told you about a story I wrote about a young girl who finds Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
I actually tried to do that. There's I know one spread that I did. I mean, and this is once again where as a publisher you get to play with that stuff, but it's like I just felt like what was happening was it was too much to put into a small frame, and you could try to do a bunch of little frames, but it's like I did a 2-page spread. I don't know if they call it a gateway or I forget what they call it, um, but yeah, it just felt right. And I think on the last page, there's 3 panels, but there's one small one big one, and just like a big image. I don't know. It feels storytelling wise, it feels better. But
Yeah. So, so I was close to giving up on Thundercats, but so unlike Space Ghost, Thundercats is really kind of doing an extended story. They're really, I don't know if you remember the cartoon. I don't remember what the storyline is called, but it's basically the kind of the trial of Lino, where he's got to go fight all the Thundercats, to kind of gain their trust, and that's kind of what this one really kicks off, is where he's got to go fight Chitara. So, and it looks like kind of a bold thing. They're gonna do a spin-off series already. This is only issue 5. They're gonna do a spin-off with Chitara coming out next week. So interesting choice, but it's getting better. I'm not gonna say it's super great and amazing, but would I recommend it if you're a Thundercats fan? Yep, just don't expect much until you get issues 4. That's my Thundercats review. Woohoo. So, okay. Anyway, so now this was just based off the covers for this book. I was like, I'm gonna have to pick up a couple issues. I did pick up the first 2 issues, 1 and 2. Instead of like Thundercats, where it's a long extended story, it's much more a monster of the week, very episodic, where each issue is its own self-contained thing. He ends up saving 2 children, 2 siblings. Their dad died in an attack by space pirates, and it's pretty funny. Where it's actually kind of a comedy book because, first of all, if this when they wrap up this series, if it doesn't end with Space Ghost hosting his own TV show, I call that a fail. So, but I like I said, I just think the overall look of Space Ghost, the artist they have on it is doing a great job. I think that's Jonathan Lau and David Pepose. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Pepose. But it's a fun book. Not sure what they're charging for it, and it's rated teen, 14 and above. So, but yeah, a couple fun books, and I got a bunch of other books. So much turtle stuff is coming out; it's ridiculous. Because they have the turtles. Was it Black and Green? One of those books they just wrapped up the IDW run with at 150, and now they're starting the next run with Jason Aaron's. I think next month, July or August, somewhere around there. I got my one special cover pre-ordered for that one. Looking forward to that, but Nate, it might be one of the few times where I actually send something off to get graded. So we'll see how that goes.
Don't forget, Eric Henson lives down here. He's a big Turtles guy.
Well, damn
I don't know if you like Eric Henson, but Josh is all about Eric Henson.
I have to check the.
I think I sent you. He did a ghost remark on Ronin 2 Re-Evolution for Josh.
Oh, I didn't see that though. I would have think, well, maybe, or I don't remember. But yeah, there's a lot of turtle artists, like your friend who did the turtle covers, Gonzo.
Oh, he's not my friend. I've just known. I've talked to him. I've met him. He's fairly nice.
Nate's friend.
It's my cousin. He's
Yeah.
actually my cousin. Josh thinks everyone is my cousin.
Could be worse, but it's because I think I think I kind of mentioned I was like I think he's on the upswing, and you're like, well, because I talked about getting something done by him, I was like, we'll see. And then you sent me, he's like, you're right, he's going on to Marvel.
Yep.
So I didn't see which Marvel project he's working on, but
I forget because I saw his Batman one, and then I saw he posted another one, but I forget what it is.
yeah, that I think that was probably the Batman cover. That was a commission
But
that I asked if they were.
I wonder how much, like, how long an artist can hold out on that look. You know, like it's cool. You know, it's something new. The Dios de los Muertos kind of Mexican themed or Spanish speaking themed kind of artwork. But I just wonder how long it will hold. A lot of his stuff is Latin based. It's really cool. Don't get me wrong. I actually have. I don't know where it's at. I have it around here somewhere. His comic called The Hand of Destiny, but it's La Mano de la Destino. Um, and he was like the head of a design agency, so his graphic design portion is really spot on, like in his layouts and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
this is the one I was telling you about. So I was like, I think it's freaking.
oh yeah.
There's my stupid ass comment. Can I buy a print of this?
It's not a stupid comment. It's an honest inquiry. You there?
Yeah. He's doing for the new Turtle series.
Yeah.
That's the issue number. That looks like another. Oh, that's the Turtles Alpha Genica cover. Damn these people and their damn. Spend a lot of money that way, Nate.
Yep.
Yeah, Nate. This one's for you.
Thanks. That's great.
Or
I'm more of a Will Jack kind of, you know, the not so much the beautiful ladies is just the amazing glow that is on the beautiful ladies.
That's right. So they don't sweat; they just glow.
Yes.
But Nate, was there anything else that you wanted to bring up? Because don't need to make it a super long show tonight. So
We're going to be doing our trade paperback Kickstarter soon.
woo!
So
When's that?
What's that?
When is that supposed to happen?
Maybe in 3 weeks. We have it all built out. We're building graphics right now. I have to start doing. I've been really tired, and I think I was in such a heightened state for so long doing Chihuahuas that after the Phoenix Fan Fusion, I just kind of shut down, and I don't have a lot of extra energy to do things, but they still need to get done. So we're having help with graphics, and once we get everything loaded, we can set the pre-launch. And something kind of fun is people of the world that are watching Escape Podcast. You can be in Night of the Chihuahuas too. You can have your likeness drawn as one of the mercenaries from Dead Man's Hand, and there'll be tiers where people can buy into that. And the medium and big role, as we call them, will actually get a sketch cover of themselves in military attire being attacked by killer chihuahuas as part of their pledge. So,
Amazing.
yeah, I think that's about all that we're doing. We're just taking it easy for the rest of the year, and we are looking to start Night of the Chihuahuas Part 2, Chihuahuas from Hell.
Nice. And that'll be also with David.
Yeah, he wrote it. So,
Yep.
Yep, we're Killer Hair, or I mean, Family Man is over halfway done now. Sophia Cox is working on Killer Hair, and we put the brakes on it just to brush up the story a little bit. I'm working with a screenwriter from LA who hopefully will be a guest on the show at some point, Kate Galkey, and she's helping me. What they say in the industry is punch up Killer Hair. So we'll see how that goes.
We're gonna punch your script up a little bit.
Yeah.
And if it's not good
give
enough,
it some.
we're just gonna punch you.
We're gonna bring in some Jedi. We're just working on some taxes, and they're gonna help you with your screenplay.
That's right. So, all right. So unless you got anything else, I think it's a good place to wrap it up. So
Sounds good.
All right. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to see what we're talking about just in general or on the show, you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram. And on occasion, we post on X/Twitter. And if you have not yet subscribed to the podcast or to the YouTube channel, that would be of great help because subscribers means more views. More views means more pushing of the show. All right, Nate, anything else? Good night, America.
Good night.